How's it going, everyone? Lumity here, and I am back with another game hunt. I have a bunch of footage here today from a bunch of different places I went to, and I'm going to show you guys what I picked up or didn't pick up, because there's also quite a bit of stuff that I just didn't pick up. But we're going to start off with some pawn shops, and we're going to go from there. So I did stop and look at some pawn shops first. I was very disappointed at the first one. Not a whole lot of stuff going on. Very smelly. The pawn shop had a stench to it that I did not enjoy. So it was not a great first attempt at looking for video games, I will say. But you gotta look, right? So I looked, I tried to find some stuff, and I just really didn't find much. Lots of Xbox One games, but I'm looking for more retro stuff, you know? I do play Xbox still, I do play some of the modern stuff, but that's not really what I'm looking for, you know? I'm looking for some of the older stuff, and this one that smelled horrible did not have it. It did have this, though, which was pretty cool. It had a Sinister Gates guitar. That was pretty sweet. You know, my brother, he's the guitarist, but I still like guitar. I think it's cool, and seeing a Sinister Gates guitar was also pretty darn cool. So seeing that in person, that was kind of neat, not gonna lie. If I actually knew how to play guitar, maybe I'd pick it up, but I don't, so I didn't. But I forgot to show this stuff off here as well. The next place I went to a different pawn shop, and this pawn shop was a lot better. They actually had some stuff that I was interested in here. They had My Sims that I saw, went ahead and wanted to pick that one up. The nice thing about a lot of pawn shops, too, is that they usually have just a set price on a lot of their stuff. They have everything in one cabinet, and it's all for a set price, and that's how this one is. They just have a set price on all their different games. Like Wii games are like $4 a piece, PS2 games are $2 a piece, stuff like that. So I went ahead and looked for some different stuff. I saw this Ring of Fire game here. I have no idea what it is. I just saw dragons and tanks on it, and I was just like, you know what, that looks kind of neat. Maybe I'll pick that one up. And I was just looking through, seeing a bunch of the different stuff there. There was one game that I was really wanting to pick up, but you can see already, like, with just some of the games like Devil May Cry 2 there, the water damage that happens to some of these games, just, it makes me not even want to pick them up, you know? Saw Headhunter there, never heard of it before, wasn't too interested in it. I saw Primal here. This is a game that I've been wanting to pick up, but this one was one of the ones that was water damaged so badly. And when they're water damaged that badly, I know that's still only $2, and I could probably just do with the disc only, but I hate getting something that's that damaged, so I just completely ignored it. I looked at the PS3 games, not a whole lot going on there. Look at the original Xbox games, not a whole lot going on there either. But you know what? I found a few games. Nothing too special, but at least I found some Wii games and a PS2 game, so I will take it. Now, I did have to go look at the case as well, though, because they do have cases in a lot of these places, and I had to see what's going on. And they had a game I wanted. They had dogs. That's a game I've been looking for. It's probably not exciting to most people I know, but it's a game that I've been wanting. It's a game that I've wanted because I think that it's cool that there's so many of these dogs games that are a completely different game in Japan, and they just came out over here in America. They got licensed by Ubisoft, and they just released them as completely different games. And it's just so weird that they took something, you know, from Japan and then just turned it into its own series here in America. It's very odd. So wanted to pick that one up. That's one that I've been looking for. I don't need any systems or anything, but they're always there. I did look at some of the Switch titles, looking for anything that I don't have. I saw Star Trek Prodigy there. I have played that before. That is actually a really fun game. I looked at the GameCube games, nothing that I needed there. I wouldn't mind finding some more GameCube games, but I'm looking for specific stuff, you know, and I'm just not finding a lot of the stuff that I'm actually looking for when it comes to GameCube. I'd like to find a lot of I think picking up the Lego games would actually be fun for the GameCube because I've only played them on PlayStation, so it'd be kind of cool to pick them up for that. So, PlayStation 1 games, I was looking for a specific NASCAR game as well, but they didn't have it. I found out there's some sort of demolition NASCAR game, and now I kind of want that one, looking for that. So, Dragon Quest there, that is a game I've been looking at, but I didn't want to pay the price on that one, to be all fair. Just to be completely honest, I didn't really want to spend. To be fair, I'll be completely honest here, I'm not a huge fan of JRPGs, so when I see a high price on a JRPG, I kind of back off a little bit because I just usually don't like them that much. Next up, I did go to a disc replay. This is a different one than what I usually go to, but they still have quite a bit of good video games. Went to that PS2 section, immediately started looking for the Warhammer game that I passed on so long ago that I should have just picked up, and they did not have it. I did see Yu-Gi-Oh! There. I actually picked that one up for a way better price. That game's starting to get expensive. If you want that Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, you should actually probably pick it up. It's starting to go up a little bit, so keep that in mind. I think I found it for about like $30, so it's starting to go up. So Shin Megami Tensei here. I don't know too much about the series, if I'm being honest. I know a lot of people like it, and $20 seems like a pretty good price for it. I didn't get it because, again, JRPGs really aren't usually my thing. Sometimes I'll play them, but it's got to be something that really grabs my attention. Hot Wheels Velocity. I have never played this Hot Wheels game. I was tempted by it. I probably should have picked it up for $5, but I didn't, and that was my bad. But maybe one day I'll play that. I do have the Game Boy Advance version of it. Looked at the PS1 games. I have been collecting PS1 imports like crazy, and I was hoping to find some. I did not find any Japanese PlayStation 1 imports, though. But still, you gotta look at the regular PlayStation 1 games, too, that came out over here in America. And I saw some interesting stuff. Batman Beyond, it didn't have any of its cover art. It's, back artwork. It didn't have anything like that. It's a game I've been wanting to play for a long time. It's also actually on the N64. And I've been looking for the N64 version, actually, but I probably would have picked that up if it had at least the back art for it and like the spine. But when it's missing the back art and the spine, it just doesn't look right on the shelf for me. So I don't really like picking them up unless they have at least the spine that tells me what the game is on the shelf, because any other way, it's basically a disc only copy. Even with the printed out stuff, it doesn't do it for me. I'd like to have the actual original spine and everything on it. If it's missing the manual, I used to be pickier about that, but these days I'm kind of getting a little bit less picky about the manual even. I just want the spine. Just have the spine on there, Saw this game I had never heard of before. It looked kind of interesting. I couldn't tell if it was like a racing game or what. It did look kind of neat, though. Saw this, and I thought that was kind of odd to see, a Bug's Life, and I'm pretty sure this is a PAL version, I think. I had never seen a PAL game just out in the wild, so that was kind of cool to see. I actually have played A Bug's Life, and I played that game a lot growing up, and I did enjoy it, but it was just odd to see a PAL version of it, out and about. You just don't usually see that, so I wanted to get that on footage just because I thought it was kind of cool, but didn't see a whole lot that I was looking for. Saw some interesting stuff. There was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game there, too, on the PlayStation 1 that I've been thinking about, but again, it's just missing... It's missing what I need. It's missing its gutty works, and I need to have its spine. My game has to have its spine. But overall, not too bad, though. They still have a really nice selection of PlayStation 1 games, to be fair. Just wasn't what I was looking for. Now, Super Nintendo games, I do look at them, and I saw the Kamikaze Squirrel. I think it's Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. That's a game I want to play, but it's like... If you saw the price tag, it says like $300 on it. So I'll probably never end up playing that game, but man, it's one that I'd love to play eventually. But still, once a game goes up to a certain price, I'm out. I don't think any video game's frankly, no video game is worth more than $100. But still, I don't think even most games are worth over $60. I did see that Bubble Squeak game. I had never seen that before, and... maybe I should have picked that one up. I saw Mega Bomberman there as well. I have been getting more into the Bomberman games. I really enjoy the Bomberman games, so that's something that I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for Bomberman games. I would like to find more Genesis games in the case, but it is starting to get a little bit harder to do that. So I have been picking up loose Genesis games recently. I did see N64 games. They had a ton of N64 games. They actually had that Beetle Adventure Racing game, and that is one that I've been wanting to play for a while. $25 seems a little high for a racing game, if I'm being honest, so I didn't do it. That Battle for Naboo, though, and that's another one that I've also been kind of tempted on. They had a really good selection of N64 games, but, the Game Boy games call me. The Game Boy Advance games, they call me. I love my Game Boy Advance. I love that system. I love playing the games on my Retron 5. I love playing them on my handheld. I just love the Game Boy Advance. It's such a fun system to collect for. The games are so incredibly cheap, and there's so many good games on the actual thing that it's just so fun to collect for. So I always go and check it out. That's all. There's a Monster Jam game, Ultimate Destruction, but honestly, I've seen how it looks. It's not like a 3D racer. It's like a top-down racer, so I'm not super interested in it. Overall, though, I did find some good Game Boy Advance games, so let's go ahead and show you guys what I got. All right, so I get all my pickups here together. We're going to go over the pawn shop stuff first because that's probably the stuff that is a little bit least interesting compared to everything else. So first things up, I did pick up Ring of Fire. Apparently this is based off some movie. The movie looks terrible. I don't know if that's actually any good or not. And I'm not honestly even sure if this disc is going to work, but I figured for $2, I'll give it a chance, right? Like if it doesn't work for $2, oh well, I may be able to get it resurfaced, or I may just find another copy eventually if I really want to play it, because apparently this isn't even that expensive of a game. But I just saw the cover. I just thought it looked sick. So I got that. I did pick up My Sims also at the pawn shop. I know that they just remade this game, but I mean, why not just get the Wii version for way cheaper? So I went ahead and picked that up. And I also picked up this summer sports game. Again, these games, compilation games, usually are not great, but I think they also do make for fun videos. And sometimes they do end up being hidden gems. So we'll see. Maybe this one will be a hidden gem. Let's get to, oh wait, no, there's one more pawn shop one. Dogs. I did pick up Dogs. I had to pick it up. This is what I was looking for. This is actually an anime video game, which is kind of funny. And it is a completely different name in Japan. And Ubisoft just got a bunch of these different dog games, cat games, hamster games, all different series in Japan and just all around the world, just completely different series from what this is supposed to be. And then Ubisoft got them all and just put them all under the same title, basically, the pet series, the dog series, the cat series. Even though they're all different games, Ubisoft just put them all under one umbrella and just renamed it. So kind of weird how they did that, but wanted that one, so I picked that up. Now, here is the stuff I got actually at the game store, and I got a decent amount of goodies, some stuff that I was actually looking for, some stuff that I didn't know existed. Let's start off with something I didn't know existed first. I picked up this. This is Robot Wars Advanced Destruction, based off of the TV show. I love BattleBots, and I do remember watching Robot Wars as well, so it just made sense to go ahead and pick this one up. And I found out that there's apparently also an Xbox version of this game that I would love to find eventually, but knowing my luck, it's probably pretty expensive. So I was happy to find this, though, for $5. Next up, Medal of Honor. I picked up this Medal of Honor Underground. I believe this is the first-person shooter one. This is the one I've been looking for. I love first-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance. They are usually terrible. I like them not because they are good. I want to put that out there. I like them because it is just crazy to me that they were even able to get it to run on the hardware. I just find it very impressive, and I just think it's a really cool thing to have. And I did used to play the Medal of Honor games, to be fair. I used to play the PlayStation 1 Medal of Honor games and the PS2 ones, so why not? This is one I've been looking for, and I was excited to find for only $7.99. This usually goes for a bit more than that. It usually goes for, I think, closer to $20. Got Tekken Advance. Obviously, the label's a little bit damaged, but that's okay. I don't mind too much. I'm just happy to be able to pick this up for a fair price for the collection. I played Tekken a lot on PS3, actually. That's when I really played a lot of Tekken, and I've kind of gone back and played some of the other ones since then, and I do enjoy the other ones. There used to be an online-only Tekken game that I used to play a ton of on PlayStation 3, and yeah, it made me like the series a lot. So this is one that I haven't played, this one that I've been wanting to play, and I don't think that it's as complex as the other games, but that's okay with me. I just wanted another fun Tekken game. All right, I also picked up MX 2002. I used to play a lot of MX versus ATV. I believe this is probably part of the same series, probably, maybe. Well, at least, I mean, the font's the same, if nothing else. MX 2002 with Ricky Carmichael. That name sounds familiar, but I don't really know too much about him, but there we go. Just all that. I have played this one a little bit already. It's odd. It's odd. I don't mind it, but the way it controls compared to a lot of other 3D racing games on the Game Boy Advance is a little bit weird. Picked up Shrek Swamp Kart Speedway. I actually already had a copy of this game, but I needed a label upgrade. My label was trashed. It was actually the worst label in my collection. So when I saw this for $4.99, I figured let's go ahead and pick it up and get a nicer label on mine because I really did not like the way mine looked. I just bought it kind of like a blind buy one time, and it was a really crappy copy. But so I'm happy to have a good copy of this now. Next up, I have seen this game in past videos, Star Wars Jedi Power Battles on the Game Boy Advance, so I went ahead and picked it up. I think that this one will be a pretty cool one to play through. I played this on PlayStation 1 a lot back in the day. I've played the Dreamcast version as well. Both versions are really fun, and I have not played the Game Boy Advance version, so I'm looking forward to trying this out. I hope that you can play as some of the other Jedi in this, but I'm not sure. In the PlayStation 1 version, you could play as Plo Koon with like an orange lightsaber, and that was awesome. And you could also play as Adigalia. You could play as her, and she would have a red lightsaber, and I just always thought that was really cool. Next up, here is cats. I picked up dogs earlier, and I did find cats, so I went ahead and picked that one up as well. Again, it's one of these weird games that Ubisoft acquired and put a name on it. It doesn't look even from what I've seen, it doesn't look similar to dogs whatsoever. It's very odd how they did that entire series. I did pick up this. This was a free game. If you buy 5 games, you get 1 free is how it works. So I picked up this one. This was one of the free games. This is Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, and Original Memory. Basically, these games are games I grew up with. They're board games I grew up with, and they're put on the Game Boy Advance. And I picked them up really just for that reason. I loved Candyland growing up and Chutes and Ladders. I played those a ton with my mom when I was a kid. So that's something I just wanted to have in the collection. It's something that I've been looking for, and $2 is the best price I've ever seen it for. So I went ahead and picked that up. Let's go ahead and get this case out of the way here. This is obviously custom, like printed. It's just something somebody printed off here for this, and they even got a custom case here, which is kind of cool. It even says like customcase.com, so that's kind of cool. But it's Bomberman Max 2. This is a series I didn't really play much as a kid, but as an adult, I love it. I love the Bomberman series, so I've been playing a lot of it. I haven't played every game in the Bomberman franchise, but the ones I have played, I've really enjoyed. So this is one that I definitely wanted to add to the collection. So went ahead and picked that up, and honestly, with a custom case and everything for that price, not too bad. All right, I also picked up Bratz. This is Bratz Rock Angels, I believe. Yeah, Rock Angels. I am nostalgic for Bratz, actually, believe it or not, because I used to go over to my cousin's house, and me and her would play with Bratz. So whenever I was a kid, I would go over to my older cousin's house, and we would just play with the Bratz. So I am nostalgic for the series, and I think that this one, I could be wrong, but I think this is the one that is kind of more open worldy. It has kind of like a bigger sandbox for you to run around in. I believe this is the right one. There's like 5 different Bratz games, so forgive me if this is not the right one, but I have 3 of the 5 now, so I'm still missing 2, but I have a lot of the ones on the Game Boy Advance now. Next up, let's do the sports games. Let's go ahead with the sports games. So I did pick up a Madden 03, Madden 05, and Madden 07. For some reason, 06 and 04 was not there, but that's okay. I wanted to pick these up. I love the old Madden games, and I didn't even know that they were on the Game Boy Advance, if I'm being completely honest. I knew NFL Blitz was, but I'm not really a huge NFL Blitz guy. I don't really like those games. I tried the N64 one for the first time last year, and I just thought it was kind of okay. But still, I definitely wanted these versions. I wanted these Madden games because I do love the old Madden games. So there's that. And last but not least, I picked up a couple of Game Boy Color games. I picked up Erasing Rats. This is one that I thought was... I don't even know what this is. I just saw the name of it a long time ago, and I always found it interesting. I always wanted to know what it was. So I picked it up for that reason alone. I've always been curious about it. So there's that. And last but hopefully not least, I got this just because of what it is. It's Austin Powers. Austin Powers, oh, behave. I got this for the Game Boy Color. I love the Austin Powers movies, and this is a game published by Rockstar, which is hilarious, and it makes perfect sense. And I had to pick it up. This could be a terrible game, but I wanted it just because it's Austin Powers. And I believe there's actually a second Austin Powers game on the Game Boy Color, and I think that version has like Dr. Evil on the front or something like that. So I would like to find that eventually, but I was just glad I was able to pick this up because I always regretted passing on this in an older video, and since it was there, I had to pick it up. I'm very happy to have that one. So I'm pretty happy with my haul. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.